Hello everyone, welcome to the Python video series conducted by our team Code Like Us. So as everyone knows, when we are coding, developer may need a lot of supportive tools and scripts other than the main application. For example, data extraction tools, data persistence tools, file access scripts and so on. So throughout this video series, we hope to develop various Python scripts and tools to support the developer's main application. Accordingly, today I am going to describe how to data scrap or data extract from a query URL. So the task will be extracting currency rates for a last 30 days of period for the given currency pair. Let's say USD to SGD currency pair. So I will be using the Yahoo Finance currency rate graph. You can see it here. So in this graph, you can choose the time period 1 month, 6 month, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year time, like that. The time interval 1 week, 1 day, 1 minute, like that. You can choose either. So if you go to a particular day, you have the set of data like this: open price, high price, low price, close price for this currency pair. So today's task is to extract this data for the past 30 days. At the each point, we need to extract this data from this graph or this query URL. Accordingly, I will be using these packages, the request package and the JSON package, to extract data, and the config parser and the time APIs as the supportive packages. This is the Yahoo Finance site, as we spoken previously. If we say search SGD here, you can find the same graph we have spoken previously. So in the full screen mode, you can see the graph. You can use 1 month time period, and the interval you can choose either 1 week, 1 day, 1 month. I will choose 1 day, and you have these data sets as we know, and using Ctrl+Shift+I, you can see the inspections. In the network tab, you can find, when we are reloading this one, you can see a lot of get and post methods and requests going through to load this page and the data. So if we can see one by one, you can find the query related to this data. So this is the query, get request method query related to this data graph. So if you see in the header section, you can see the request URL. This is the request URL and the get method. So we may need to extract this URL and paste it into your editor. So if we closely look into this URL, you can find where the SGD is mentioned. See, you can find two places you can see the SGD. If you replace this with INR, LKR, HKD, you can use for another symbol or another currency. So this period 1 is the from date, and the period 2 is to date. That means from to 2. So these are in epoch time. So the interval is 1 day. So all other parameters are normal common parameters for the graph. So these are the variables we set. Especially for our application, we need to take as this SGD is the variable. Okay, shall we try this one in the tab, in a new tab, and you can try this URL. So you can see this one comes as this query. Once you enter this query, you get the response as a JSON response. So you have metadata section, timestamp and indicators, lot of JSON objects and JSON arrays inside. You can see inside this code the low price set and the time stamp. This is for 1 month time. You can see time 38 days stamps, and relatedly the low price set, open price set, volumes all are 0, the close price set and the high price set. So you can see the raw data format as well. This is all a JSON format. So we may need to extract this data using this URL and related response. Okay, let's start the coding part. This is my PyCharm project. Let's add the Python script. Let's say scrapper.python. Just print some string and check whether it is working fine or not. You can right click here and run the Python scripts. Yeah, it's working fine. So in the script and our task, the first step should be using this request URL. You may need to get the response like this. So this is the response. So this is the data set. You need to get this data set and this response first. So let's check how it will be achieved in the scrapper script. So first you need to import the package request. If you have pre-installed it, it will give a suggestion. Otherwise you may need to install after. Right click here, you can install it. So I have copied the URL, my request URL. I will paste it here. So this is too long. I will break it to get it readable. Yeah, this is fine. Now it is readable. So this is SGT period 1, period 2, interval and all there. So using this request API, you can take the response. Let's say my response is inside this request API. You have method calls like get, put and post, all the methods you can try. So in our scenario we will use get and give the request URL inside it. So now you will take the response. Let's check what the response showing when we print. So we may need to take the response and its JSON format to print it here. Let's check what it print. See, you can check with our previous raw data format of the response, chart, metadata and all, so time zones and all. So similarly you have print the same JSON response here. Okay, our next step would be if we go to this one, the JSON format has several levels, the result level and the 0 level, and in the 0 level there are 3 different levels: metadata section, timestamps and the indicators. So timestamps have the dates for the previous month, and we may need to access those levels. And inside the indicators, the code level and within the code level again the 0th index, and the low prices, open prices and volume prices. So we need to go through this ladder and take each elements, and we need to read these values. So similarly we need to take this response and in the JSON format, and we may need to reach those final elements. Let's check how it will be done. So okay, for this ladder access we need to take the API of JSON and take this response in the JSON format. So for that one we may need to import our next package JSON. So as I earlier said, so using that JSON package methods, we can convert this response into JSON style. So this is our response in JSON style. We can load using JSON API. There is a function called loads. We can give the response whatever we have previously returned from the request get method. So this JSON response, JSON type response, let's say print JSON response, we may get a similar kind of output. Sorry, something wrong. Okay, in this loads method we may need to give it as JSON style or the text style. So we may use text style, and let's try again. Yes, now you can find this is the JSON ladder format, charts, results and all you can see. So now you can go through this ladder using this JSON type response. Let's check how you can go to this timestamp level, chart, result, 0, then timestamp. You can use the same method that you when you are accessing array type elements. So I will get my timestamps using this JSON response JSON. You can go through in array type. The first one is chart. Okay, let's print one by one and check. When you go to the chart, what it will be shown. See, you can the previously what you have seen here. When you print the JSON response and when you print the timestamp, you can see the different. This one start with chart. Now you go inside the chart, then the next level it comes the results. So you need to go further inside chart, results, 0. So result, then 0. Now let's check what it will show. The original one shows starting from the chart. This is the original one. This is our timestamps now starting from meta. So if you go to this one, you are in the 0th level. So in this level you have 3: meta, timestamp and indicators. In this case we are accessing timestamps. Inside timestamps you have the data. Okay, our next level should be timestamp. Now let's check what it will be print. See, now you can see the timestamps like a array. So if you print the timestamps 0th element, you will print this one. Yes, let's say 4th element, you will print another. So here we access and get all the timestamps in the ladder format. Okay, now let's try to get the close prices. There are 38 close prices, and low, open, so on, all are 38 relevant to these 38 days. So now let's try to achieve this indicators code 0, and then low level, open level, close level, and so on. Similarly, we can access low prices up to 0th level, the same. Then you need to go to indicators level, instead of timestamp. Then you need to go to quote level, then inside that again another 0 level. Then here we are accessing low prices. If you print timestamps and the low prices, you can say two arrays. So here we can see 38 dates and relevantly 38 low prices. Similarly, you can get the close prices, open prices, high prices, and so on. So close, open, and then low price, close price, open price, and then high prices. So here it should be high, open, close. You can print and check. Close prices, open prices, high prices. See, you have take all the arrays with 38 elements. So here we have extract all the data what we need inside this 38 days time period. Okay, as per the next step, let's move on and just try to refactor this code. First I will try to add this symbol from date, to date, and the interval from a config reader. So it is good to have a config file for the tool or a script, so then easier to change the values and rerun the application. So here I will try to add a config file, so application properties file. So I will create application properties. So as in the normal application property file, you can add several levels or several sections. So I will add scrapper section here and add my values, symbol. My symbol is currently std, and from date, to date, and interval one should be 1 day. So from date I will be extract from here, and to date also extract and here. So this is my application.property file. So let's try to read from this application property file and put it here, and let's check how it works. So for read a config file, we need to have the package config parser. So for the config parser usage, you need to get a config parser. So this is my config parser. Config, I will say config. Get the config parser dot row config parser. So then using this config parser, you can read the application properties file. So config dot read the application properties file. Application dot properties. Okay, then let's try to read the symbol value. Symbol is equal to my config dot here when we reading a value, we will use the get one. So first we need to give the section. Our section is scrapper, and the property is symbol. Okay, let's try print this symbol before we move on. Here you can see the symbol value is printed as SGD, taken from this property file. Okay, similarly we can extract, we can read other properties as well. We have 3 more properties: from date, to date, and interval. So here from date, to date, and interval. So now we have read all the 4 properties from the file, and we can replace where it needs. So to replace, we need to add like this. Here we need to put symbol. I will copy this one, and we need to replace that here as well. And from date as per the period 1, and the to date replacing for the period 2, and interval should be replaced. Now let's check. Yes, the same as you can see, we can read the values from the config file, and we put it as the variables. So if we need to change the way symbol, or you can need to have the any other value here, let's say you need to change it to Indian rupees, so INR, so you can change it here and run it here. So you can see this is the values are changing. So this is very easier. So this is much needed thing in a tool or a script. Read the main values from a property file. So I will replace it again. Okay, to get one more step further, refactoring of this area. So you can see our data extraction now all are in 5 different arrays. So timestamps and 4 different open, close, high, low arrays. So but in the graph you can see for a particular day you have these 4 values. So in this array, so for this particular date you have these 4 values, and this one another values, so this one another 4 values. So you need to take these 5 values in a single point, and so on. So also you need to take this epoch format in the human readable format. Let's try to achieve that part as the next step. For that I will remove you can see this part up to here, all 4 lines the same, so we can remove all these values, and I will put the quote, I will get the quote separately. Okay, so I will make my data date point value as array. So these are the date points. So inside one date point you should have the human readable timestamp and the date, and close price, open price, and high price and the low price. So let's see how it will be achieved. These timestamps have 38 date points. So similarly these all 5 arrays have the same length. So I will process this length in the range of the timestamps. So I will use a for loop in the range of, this is how you gone through a for loop, in the range of length of timestamps. So now you can process inside the timestamp, and you can get the record date in the human readable format. You can like use the time API for that one. So for that you can import time API. So you have the timestamps, and using that epoch timestamp you can get the record date. Let's say record date. So using the time API you can give the strf time with the format. You can give the format here. Let's say only we need the date, no need the time. So %y, that is for year, %m, that is for month, %d, that is for date. So then you need to give the local time as per the next argument. So time dot local time and the timestamp integer value of the timestamp epoch. So we need to put the timestamps I value. So here this one comes as a string. You may need to cast it as int. Okay. Now you extract the record date. Let's say you need to print and see the record dates. We'll remove these two. See, you can see all the 38 days from 2020 January 7th to February 28th. So that is for the period of the graph which we have retrieved. So this time format function is now okay. So let's move on and get the close values, open values, high values and low values for the particular timestamp. So this is ith element of the time stamp, so we need to get the close value. Sorry, we start from the open value for the ith time stamp. So we can get this quote. So we have quote here. Inside that we can access open values and get the ith element of this open prices array. Similarly, you can have close values of high value, low value. Open, close, high, low. Okay, so we have extract all the values here. Then we need to add these values inside this data points array. So single data point, 1 point will have all these 5 values. So we need to add those 5 values inside this point. So first one should be date. So date should be record date. Similarly, you can add close, open, close, high, low. So this one, close, high and low. We have to put this here. These two should go like this. Okay, now you have added to the point of all these values. Now you need to add this point into this data point array. So you have to append this data points with this point. Okay, hope you can print and check this data points whether our task is completed. Okay, now you have output. Let's verify that. So the first data point, date, open, close, high, low. This is the first data point. This is the values related to January 7th. So this is for the January 8th. Likewise, you can see all the data points has extracted. So this is our task we have considered for retrieving data from a query URL and make it date wise and parse it somewhere. So today I am not going to talk about persisting nor writing to data file, only extracting and scraping data completed. So here we use, as discussed, the request API and the JSON API, and for the formatting purposes we use config parser and the time APIs. So this is the code. I will add this code as well in the link of the video. See you from another video. Bye. Thank you.